We'll do a quick blockchain and booze. I'll show people this. All right, so if you can hear me right now, there's a couple little things I want to say before we start blockchain and booze. I think we're on number 136 or 137. I texted the team, but I forgot to look at the thing. I'll look in a second. So for those of you who can hear me, this guitar, this Boring Stone Reaper creation right here, will be given away either tomorrow or on day 3. We're trying to decide when and how, so you got to pay attention and find out throughout the event. And then the second thing is that we got the official LA Blockchain Summit t-shirts at the Merch Proof booth, and you got to go grab one. Go run over there and grab one right now. Go show, so you can show people. The Merch Proof booth, right there.
Over there?
Yeah, the Merch Proof booth, right there. Yes, with all the clothing hanging in it.
Okay.
By the way, David Rankin is the highest ranking member of the blockchain and booze community. He's logged like 16,000 minutes or something ridiculous like that. He has lived half of the last 2 years of his life on blockchain and booze. All right. Did I just steal his chair? Was he sitting here?
No, he wasn't.
Oh, he can sit here. Okay, so hold on. It's blockchain and booze. I need to get my cocktail. All right, guys. So, John, how has the show been so far?
Phenomenal.
Is that on?
I think we're on. Yep,
Oh,
we're on here.
Okay, yes. David, show everyone the shirt
Live.
I'm talking about.
From LA Blockchain Summit.
Blockchain and booze. What's up? Check out that shirt. Tell everyone about that shirt. So that's the shirt. That also is a original Reaper NFT design that you can grab at the Merch Proof booth. Everybody grab one. Each day there's a different design. So collect all 3. Don't forget. And then okay, so let's make this real. Hopefully it doesn't shrink. You get a larger size. Get a large next time. All right. All right. So let's start. Wait. Do we have more mics by chance, or we're just passing these ones around? Okay. Oh, we got a couple more mics. Cool. Because I want Grant to have one. You should have one. And let's grab it. This will be good. All right. So. All right, I guess we should start it, sort of make it seem semi-official and say, welcome to Blockchain and Booze. This is episode number, I'm deciding it's 136. It is? Oh, that was good. Okay, so I thought I made that up in my head. So for those of you that don't know, boom! Okay, yes, we had to make it official. So for those of you who don't know, we started Blockchain and Booze 136 weeks ago, when we were on quarantine, and we thought it would be fun to have a cocktail with our friends at the end of a long day while we're trapped at home and try to pretend like life is a little more normal than it was. And we thought it would last a few weeks, and here we are 136 weeks later. We have invested in companies who have met each other at the virtual networking tables on Blockchain and Booze. We have, made a ton of friends. David Rankin has spent like 16,000 minutes or more. Probably more now. Speaking to the mic.
Professional blockchain and booze. 10,000 hours?
That's right.
Over 10,000 hours?
10,000 hours. Yeah, you're an expert.
Yeah, I'm an expert at blockchain and booze.
Sorry. So
I don't drink.
This is a fun. It is funny. When we originally created Blockchain and Booze, we're like, some of the community doesn't drink, but it's just for a few weeks, so who cares like what the name is, right? And now we're a few years in, and it does get weird sometimes when you have a guest that they're like, no, I can't be on the show. I don't drink. We're like, not everyone drinks, and it's a whole thing. But welcome, and I'm stoked to see you guys all live. I wanna start with having the crew introduce themselves. Like the virtual events, there's always a new friend on, and there's sometimes some old friends. So Grant, you're the new friend on, first time on Blockchain and Booze live. Introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Grant Van Wyck. You can tell from the accent I'm not from the US. I'm here from the UK. I'm the CTO for BAB. We have a booth just over there. Very excited to be here and very excited to be welcomed onto Blockchain and Booze.
Well, thank you for joining us here and for making the trip and for being a good sport and coming on Blockchain and Booze with this very informal, serious situation.
Two of the things I enjoy.
That's right. You know what? I feel like we
think
should
we're
get
still
everyone
waiting
up
for-
here at least a beer or a cocktail or something.
I think,
Can we,
I think David is doing that for us.
Oh, David is doing that right now? Good. He has all the drink tickets. By the way, I've got more drink tickets, so after this, we got drinks. So awesome. Wait, tell us really quick a little more about BAB, bank account-based blockchain, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we've probably had a conversation with one or two people in the room already today, but effectively we're trying to create a universal financial services platform using innovative tech such as blockchain, incorporating crypto and traditional fiat money in the same platform. We've gone about it, I suppose, in a little bit of a reverse order. Quite a few crypto businesses went out there, land grab style. We actually went the other way around. We went and got our sort of regulatory stuff done first, and then built the platform around that. So we've always had the vision of doing it sort of above board and correctly. And I'm happy to say BAB has got their regulation sorted in the UK and Europe, and we're looking forward to doing something similar over here in the near future.
Is it absolutely insane that you have to think about that though when you're like starting a business? You're like, we better go jump through all of these hoops. You know, it is kind of insane, right?
Yeah.
But Europe and the UK do have at least somewhat better guidelines, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think fortunately, being based there, the regulators there are a little bit forward-thinking when it comes to this stuff. They one of the first movers, I suppose you could say, in terms of regulating specifically the crypto industry, which is a good and a bad thing because, of course, you know, regulation, everyone's like, oh, and, you know, just kind of dampens everything. But I think there's a positive to it as well because it sort of brings that sort of trust back in again. Blockchain and crypto got a bit of a bad rap in the beginning. Maybe some trust was lost, but I think being able to demonstrate that you can be regulated and still operate in the space is testament to where we're heading, and being able to combine those things and make platforms sort of ubiquitous and sort of intuitive, so that people are not sort of frightened of the fact that, oh, this is crypto and I'm not really sure what it's about, or, you know, I don't trust it. You want them to be able to go, oh, I get it. You know, it's the same as my bank account. I use the analogy, like, you don't necessarily know how a car works, but you're able to drive it, right? So you shouldn't have to worry about how blockchain works, but you should be able to use it easily.
Yeah, well, especially nowadays as things get more and more and more complex, right? It's so, John, welcome back.
Thank you, Elon. John Dorfman.
AKA Sailor Gary.
I am co-founder and CEO of Spirit Punks. We have a Web3 company that is building and curating toolkits to assist in capturing the value propositions presented by Web3. And we're using a partnership with our established award-winning distillery to showcase what those toolkits look like.
It's fun to see it in real life, right? And I always joke because John and his partners are like hardcore scientists and they do really complex things, but then we just kind of go like, booze, yeah. But it's very cool to see how they're transforming sort of consumer packaged goods. I got a few bottles here that I'm going to give away to some of you in a minute. We got a premium vodka bottle and 2 GM and GN gins. So you guys got to come check that out.
So Elon, I will say that my first vodka drink was premium with some Coke. That was my first vodka drink. My first vodka drink I've ever drank was premium.
Wow.
Yes, I was very happy. good friend John here.
Most of us's first vodka experience came out of like a Save-On squeeze bottle version of vodka.
Mine would be for me.
That's like punishment. So you got like the best version of vodka you could get as your first one. Most of us,
and it was premium.
It was premium.
Tasted like memes.
Yes, it did.
So, okay, wait. So you are a DeFi expert. You're in our space. You participated. Give us the recap of kind of some of the things that got you excited today at the conference. On stage, off stage, in between, you know?
I would say some of my favorite things are seeing regulatory people or people who are in KYC, AML, and who end up coming to space, have no clue about DeFi, and then all of a sudden turning on to what happens in DeFi space, and it completely blows their mind. You know, thinking that, well, Bitcoin and crypto and Ethereum, this is all kind of stupid.
Hold on one second.
All right.
David, everybody. Did you see that?
Thank you, David.
He came and do you want a bottle of water?
No, I drink water, yeah. I don't know.
Okay. I got some gin for you right here.
No, it's okay. I got to walk up the stage later. No, so I think that's exciting. I mean, I love seeing everything that we're talking about, securities. We're still a long ways off. I hope we get there. I think what we're going to notice, though, is their DeFi applications, or a lot of these are protocols, and I think Congress is going to have a big awakening when they try to shut down protocols on a chain that they may not be able to stop. Right now, they might be able to.
They might take it out on like the front end interface.
They
like
might,
AWS.
Yeah,
or something.
and they might be able to use miner extracted value to basically, for I forget the term, but basically to circumvent certain transactions if wallets are blacklisted or something like that. OSINT? No, I'm blanking on the term. It's just they say that the proof of stake nodes are they try to 51% compliant.
Speak more into the mic. Turn the mic like that. There you go.
Yeah, so it's fascinating, this space. I mean, it's been fun. So I mean, everything from DeFi to metaverse to NFTs and.
Yeah, I think that's part of the fun here is that we have such a diverse audience, right? Like, so you do DeFi stuff, you've done some NFTs, real estate stuff. We've metaverse, goofed around on a lot of NFTs and metaverse together.
Bought another one yesterday, actually.
Wait, what did you buy?
Well, so I was in this property.
By the way, because of him, I somehow ended up with 6 plots of land in Decentraland. I spent on one evening, I was like, I'm going to get a plot of land. And somehow by the end of the night, I ended up with 6.
That happens that way. I have no buddies that have like 8, because of me. I own 9 in Voxels now. But now I found this metaverse last night, and I went in and I graffitied on this building.
Hold on.
Yeah,
there's a bear on the expo
We should
floor.
get the bear out of the room. We need bulls only.
Hold on. Who is
that?
It?
Looks like a scary bear.
I'm trying to. Oh, I see that badge. I know who it is.
We see the bear market.
Is there something you'd like to say?
Bear.
Turn around.
We should kick the bear market out of here.
All right, get the bear market out of here. Hey, don't forget to grab your LA Blockchain Summit T-shirt from the merch booth. What is it?
So this property I was in yesterday,
what did you buy?
You could graffiti on these buildings, and so I graffitied all over this building in this metaverse, and I'm like, this is pretty dope. I'm like, I kind of felt bad afterwards, so I went and bought it.
That's awesome. Stop gentrifying the metaverse.
I know, man. I know.
Dude, that's cool. So, but before we got sidetracked.
Sorry.
This blockchain and booth is a very ADD experience in general, but with the liveness of this, it's even more. A second ago, I tried to drink my microphone. The two things. I don't know if you guys noticed that. I went like this. Yeah, he caught me. Okay, Grant, you guys are focused on sort of the financial services, and we have, again, a diverse audience here of not just people, but metaverse, right? NFTs, blockchain infrastructure stuff, and fintech, right? Has there been anything that kind of stood out to you in conversations, like explaining what you do, or anything that's popped out that's you know, for maybe a newbie, the realization of how these things are working?
Yeah, I think a couple of the conversations that I had sort of were around the fact that the sort of blockchain community and DeFi, etc., is still quite a closed community.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of work that we have to all do as members of the community and people who are building products using the tech to make it more inviting, to, I suppose, encourage engagement from people outside of the community to help it grow.
Yeah.
In bear markets, it's always difficult. You know, when it's had a bad rap, it's always difficult. But I think if we can persevere at just trying to create that interest and engagement again, and try build products, I suppose, that are again, simple and easy for people to engage with. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to get involved, you know.
Well, if you can create a product that simplifies the complexities, you win, right? Because at the end of the day, I think the thing that's crazy about most products is that they're not unique in the sense of like, this is a product that's never existed in the face of the earth. It's just that a lot of the products are the products that should exist or maybe used to exist in some form, and then too much fat got put onto it. Too many middlemen, too many people taking advantage or trying to profit in ways that aren't probably fair to the consumer have inserted themselves into the mix. And then, sorry, oh, he's showing off his lunar level 5 socks. Okay, well, we'll talk about that in a second. Did I just ruin a surprise? I'm sorry. But yeah, but the key, right, is simplifying it, because the average consumer doesn't want to, you know, doesn't want to have to interact directly with the blockchain. Maybe doesn't want to even use MetaMask.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely, I agree. I think if you got a product that's, you look at how well things like iPhones and iPads have done, and that's just because they are so easy to use. They're simple, they're intuitive, and I think, you know, those are the kind of the leads we need to follow in terms of creating products in this space, which is, it's a technical space, it's an innovative space, but it's very easy to get carried away with the tech and build, you know, overly complicated products, whereas actually we should be focusing on how user-friendly they are, and the fact that people shouldn't even need to understand that it's on the blockchain.
Yeah, you don't need a credit card to understand the back end of a credit card transaction to feel comfortable using a credit card or accepting it. I think, you know, it is absolutely a small space that we're working in. It's a very niche community. We need to build the on-ramps. We have to stop considering new entrants into the ecosystem as exit liquidity. And I think, you know, you want to move to a point that those transitions are seamless. You know, you don't, if you're saying, hey, go install a Web3 wallet and then go mint this NFT and it'll make you money, I think you're necessarily missing out on an incredible sector. And the space will be limited until that infrastructure piece is put into place.
Well, isn't that kind of, in a way, like one of the almost downfalls of the 2017 hype, where it was like, token, money, only go up, like mint this thing, is gonna whatever, and like there was no real product for most of the tokens, or at least the ones that are no longer with us, right? And then the people who didn't approach it that way, who actually built products, did real things, had amazing success. Post, their token did dump when things went down, but they made it through. There's like great examples, like, I don't know, like Chainlink or something, right? Where people talked about it like, ha ha ha, you bought Link.
Lend that turned to Aave.
Exactly, right? And there's a bunch of great examples of people who actually built, and I think that NFTs took a similar course, right? Like, everyone was like, buy this NFT, it's gonna be worth $1 billion. Nobody was going, buy this NFT, you're gonna get access to this, or it's gonna do this, or it's gonna do that. They were just thinking about it in that singular, really selfish kind of standpoint. and most of those projects are going to go to nothing, right? But there's going to be something.
Absolutely.
I think it started off with the Bored Apes, though, right? Well, I mean, that really is what fueled it off, is the fact that you could potentially own this IP and go build a brand with it, where that idea that you could take a thing of IP and actually do something with it was huge.
Well, the thing that's funny is that because of tokens, I heard people say the IP thing. Like, okay, Jason, who's not here today, he'll get here tomorrow, but his ape is the pink one outside. He convinced me to buy my ape, and when I did it, I was still giving him a hard time, going, this is bullshit. Like, this is total bullshit. This is, to me, it felt like the utility argument, or the arguments of the ICOs that, like, yes, in 3 years, we'll be powering the infrastructure behind the, whatever the hell. I don't even want to give
Boring Stone happened.
And then Boring Stone. Well, that's because the IP argument, because I started meeting really smart people. And Jason, I didn't give him the credit at the beginning, because to me it was like a meme. To me it was, this is the reason why token is going up, not this is the reason why token deserves to go up or is valuable. And so when I was hearing the IP argument, I'm like, okay, that's bullshit. It's a cartoon ape. It's a JPEG. It's cool. I think it's
the
cool.
next Disney, right?
And then they would say it's the next Disney. People are comparing it to Walt Disney and how he created Mickey Mouse, and the IP is it's the real value. And I'm like, yeah, but there wasn't 9,099 other Mickey Mouses that looked somewhat similar with just different skin tones.
Yeah, I saw your brother last week. Remember?
Yeah, and I'll say between our three brothers, we did pretty good. I mean, but if there was 9,000 of us, I don't know if we could keep it up. But then I started talking to people like Bored Becky, and she has her ape, and her actual name is Ashley, which was funny because once I learned that, it was really hard to like call her by the correct name, but. She was explaining to me how she was doing licensing deals also like what Jason was doing, and she had a whole background for ape, and she had a Twitter account that was separate from her normal account that was for her ape. And one day if she sells her ape, she'll sell the domain name, she'll sell the .eth address, she'll sell the IP of all of the licenses if she ever sells it. And it started clicking in my mind. I remember calling Joseph and going like, we should get like 5 apes or maybe other NFTs. We need to call some friends who are really good musicians, and we need to like create the gorillas,
the band
of apes. and then like 2 weeks later, Warner Music or somebody else announced they were doing the same shit. Yeah, but because it wasn't a very original idea, but like with these rights, more new original ideas come, right? And then we created Boring Stone because we were like, I'm not going to make another NFT thing that's just a derivative version. Like, we were joking. I forgot what we said on one of the Blockchain Booze episodes. We like made up something. We were like, electric elephants or something. Then we Googled it, and there literally was a project called it. It was kind of sad, but we didn't want to do that. We wanted to try something different, right?
A lot like ICOs, right?
Exactly. It was like ICOs. But like, look, Reaper made this, right? He's got my ape on it. It's got the striped shirt, the whole thing, and then outside there's the different versions of the ape. I threw one of them in the Lunar Crush Lounge, and that's somebody having fun with it. But
if they haven't, they can go get their picture up front with the Bored Apes.
Yeah, you guys should go out, and we should go out afterwards, take some pictures with Punk Ape Strong. That guy's a celebrity. But no, I mean, that was real value, because I think that now there's a whole,
you can't forget the community too.
I mean, that's the most important part.
That's the most important part. It's been huge. And like the fact that we all 3 of us on this panel own apes. I'm sorry you're the one out.
Traditionally, I invest in like...
I own stocks too.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, more traditional sort of... But so to what you guys are talking about, I think, the adage goes that something is only worth what someone's willing to pay for it, right?
Yeah.
I think long term, whether it's apes or crocodiles or whatever it is, fundamentally, if people see value in it, for whatever reason, there will be value in it. But a lot of it that's sort of generated with the hype, like you say, you quickly go and Google it, and there's been guys who've been up all night creating, and you can see how late they've been up because it gets crazier and crazier.
Well, that is until the SEC comes and ruins it all for us, right?
Apes, I mean, we're all blockchain enthusiasts here. Apes are unquestionably an artifact, and they've done something unique that showed artistry in general a new style of value proposition. I might make some enemies here, but Bitcoin isn't the best blockchain, and it's not valuable because it is the best blockchain. It's the first. It showed something profound and immutable and incredibly important, and the backbone of what will drive commerce and interaction and engagement. Is it the best blockchain to build on? Not in my opinion. Will it retain a minimum set of value? Will it go to zero? It won't go to zero because it demonstrated something powerful.
Not financial advice.
Not financial advice.
I forgot we didn't have the disclaimer, like the woman with the English voice at the beginning of Blockchain and Booze saying this is not financial advice and nothing you hear, blah, blah, blah.
Don't invest what you're not willing to lose, all of those. Yeah.
Buy memes.
Buy memes. Well, okay.
Or gin.
That's right. Well, but, okay, going back to it though, okay, 3 of the 4 of us have apes, right? And then I want to go back into more DeFi kind of topics, but I didn't think there was I thought there was a 0% chance I was going to make money when I bought my ape. I 100% thought I was buying something for the community and for a little bit of street cred and for fun. But I did not think, because Jason was telling me buy the ape and it was like 1 ETH, and then he was like buy it and it was like 2 ETH, and he kept telling me to buy it, and by the time I bought it, it was like 4 ETH or something. I thought it was the stupidest decision I had ever made. I don't think I've never bought a single piece of art that's on my wall, like a physical piece of art that's over maybe $50, $100 in my life, and all of a sudden I'm buying a cartoon JPEG of an ape for 4 ETH, which at the time, I don't know, thousands of dollars, right? It's crazy, and I knew it was crazy in that moment, but I felt like I was gaining, not from the potential value of even the IP or the value of the ape, it was the community part of it, right?
Well, Alon, so bring that back.
Well, I was going to ask you guys really quickly before we jump in. When did you guys buy in, and did you think it was going up in value? Did you do it for that reason? Did you just buy it because you were early? I know a few of our friends that are in the audience or outside here in the networking area bought them at mint.
I bought mine on secondary. It cost me about $1,000, and I was advised by a friend to go buy one, and I will leave it at that. Okay. That I should go buy one, and I'm like, go spend $1,000 on a JPEG? I mean, seriously? And I did, and since then I've probably spent way over $1,000 on the multiple JPEGs at this point.
You know what's really cool? Okay, wait, when did you buy? How soon?
We got Sailor Gary in July, and it was basically because we had been huge blockchain enthusiasts for a long time, since 2013, 2012, and we'd been turning red in the face trying to explain the value propositions to our friends and family, and they're like, shut up already. I heard Blau talking about the IP side of it, and my mind was blown. I said, this is the first step to expanding the value proposition on a basic normie level, where you can say, these are what are going to redefine culture. These are the pieces. I didn't know if it would go up or down. I bought mine for 6 ETH, which was $12,000 at the time. My wife and I, on our honeymoon, bought like an $800 piece of glass art when we were in Europe, and that was like, we sat there for like 5 hours debating whether or not to buy this piece.
Cartoon monkey, let's go.
It's so much easier just to click on the wallet.
Well, it's also dude,
that's a good point.
$800 versus 6 ETH.
Yeah, exactly. So the question is the mentality around buying stuff using crypto versus the money in your account.
Magical internet money. You didn't get paid. You've never gotten a paycheck in
exactly.
ETH.
Yeah.
It's that you don't have that same.
It's almost free.
It is. I mean, it's
until you pay the taxes on it.
That's true. So, but there was somewhere I was going to go on that.
I'm sorry if I derailed that.
You were going to say something.
No, so to bring it back to the NFT and art, right? Like, so I've spent a whole bunch of money on NFTs at this point. I have like over a couple hundred, maybe 1,000. But it actually brought me into buying my first piece of real physical artwork
I've bought physical artwork since because
because of NFTs.
Changed my mindset because I'm like,
Yeah.
I bought a world of women for this much. Why wouldn't I buy this beautiful painting?
I bought this NFT from this artist, and I liked it so much, I reached out to him, and I said, this would be really cool if there's ones-of-ones of this artwork. And he's all, well, I still have that painting. And I was like, no way. And so I bought the original that he made like 10 or 15 NFTs of, and I'm like, cool. I only have one of the NFTs and the original, and funny enough, the NFTs are selling for more than the original I bought. But I was excited. I'm like, sweet.
It is cool. It drives you into a whole new place, right? And I think that for many, right, we always talk about mass adoption. I think some of this stuff will be for some that moment, right? They go from a cartoon. I know a lot of the original ape holders were like sneakerheads, like people who were in these who would buy Nike drops and then sell them on eBay, and it just that whole culture, and it's part of the street culture. But then they got ApeCoin, then they started playing, and then they started realizing, what the fuck is staking? What the hell is this? How can I earn more? I can actually stake my ApeCoin and I'll get more ApeCoin? How does that work? It's a savings account. You leave your money in the bank. How a bank was originally created was you pool your money together. You collectively earn this interest together. And now we're getting back to those original things. So getting back to it, I mean, do you believe, building BAB and what you guys are doing, that some of these things are more beneficial, or is it maybe too much noise that distracts from the fintech side of what we're doing here?
Yeah, I think there's a bit of both out there, and the challenge with the noise is exactly that. There's there's so much hype, and there's all these stories and get rich quick and land grabs and all of these sorts of things, and that teaches people lessons, some very expensive ones, unfortunately, for some. But on the other side of it, I mean, if you look at a banking that's been around hundreds of years, the whole sort of blockchain and crypto is, an embryo in comparison, and it certainly has a fair way to go in terms of maturing into an ecosystem that is, I don't want to say similar to, because I think it would be bad to just try and copy, replace banking with a digital version of it.
I'm happy without the debt.
Yeah, yeah. So I think there's good lessons learned from both sides of it. What we're trying to do at BAB is to try bring them together. We would prefer not to have the traditional fiat side of it, but I think we're in that transition period, and we'll be there for a while, where you have to be able to facilitate both sides. And if you can create a product that allows users to do that easily and affordably, it'll hopefully be the way that allows people to transition across. And then also they can make up their mind. They can keep some and both for a while. You can move between. You can send crypto rather than your actual cash, cross-border, all of the good things that can come with it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think you need seamless onboarding, and then here to make more enemies, I guess. We absolutely need infrastructure and regulation, because it's
clarity. We need clarity.
We need clarity. It's a clarity. You have jurisdictional problems. You have interpretation problems. Even what Bored Ape Yacht Club did with their IP and commercial rights ideology actually isn't technically enforceable.
No, okay, but that's fucking bullshit. Like, it really is. What's crazy is when they say, I mean, it should be. Like, I can go on Envato right now or on a million different websites, and I can license, in a checkout process, I could license a song. I could license a WordPress plugin. I could license a picture in like literally 30 seconds with a checkout process on any website. So there's no reason why they couldn't, in their terms, say, if you buy this image, what's not totally clear is if I buy the ape from you on a different market, did you actually transfer those rights? That's the weird part,
you're saying you have this immutable ledger, which is blockchain. We're creating, decentralized trust. It's kind of like a Google spreadsheet that we're all sharing, and you can trust the entries of. And you have, a function, which is, in Solidity or Rust or whatever you're programming in, that describes how this piece of this cell, whether it's an art collection or banking records or however you want, will operate and behave. Executable code. And then you have the other side of the agreement, which is the end user agreement, which is like signing your Apple end user agreement, what you can and can't do. And realistically, I think this game is enriched when we can dynamically move the end user agreement over to the executable
100%.
code.
Well, I'll give a shout out right now since we're here to Mintangible, because they're one of the partners here at the event. They have a booth, and they're trying to embed the IP rights and embed kind of the logic of the distribution of funds and things like that into the actual NFT.
So critical. Go check them out if you guys haven't been over there.
They're right next to the Spirit Punks booth, a few booths away from the Bab booth, and across from the merch booth where you got to go get your T-shirts. Okay, so I
will say that was one of the coolest booths I saw was Mintangible.
Mintangible?
Yeah,
I mean,
the idea of tying the IP on chain.
Well, did you watch the Blockchain Booze episode?
Well, did you move it to Wednesday? I think you moved that to Wednesday, right?
Wait, maybe we should have like a public debate about should we move it back to Tuesday?
Back to Tuesday. We're on Tuesday today.
Tuesday.
Right now it's Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Tomorrow we'll do it again, and it's gonna be Wednesday.
Okay, I'll
and
be
then
here
we're gonna
again
have
tomorrow.
to argue.
We're gonna double up.
Okay, we're gonna double up. Maybe when Jason is here, he might put me in a headlock and make me play the guitar.
There are so many NFT groups on Discord that I want to share that with.
Okay, yeah, no, okay, but before we end, I want everyone to give a little plug, because I think we all should hang out with some people since we're here. It's awesome.
Well, hey,
but I want to do something.
I think we should give some alpha. Like, did you see these socks that Lunar Crush is giving away?
How many of you are Lunar Crush users? Oh my God! You guys got to step it up.
You gotta go get some. If anybody remembers Unisocks, come on, these are way better.
Way better than Unisocks.
Way better than the Unisocks. Go get yourself some Lunar Crush socks before they're gone.
Now, I also have a pocket full of drink tickets, and we should socialize. But before we do that, I have a couple ideas here. How many bottles do I have right here? Oh, there's 4. Perfect. Okay, so do you two like gin better or vodka better? Oh, okay. Okay, we gotta do something here and come up with, I have some ideas, but you two are longtime blockchain boozers. You're gonna have to have a cage match over premium and board vodka. I'm just giving it to you. And then, but you guys will have to decide who gets what, or you could crack it open between now and when we leave the conference. I didn't say that out loud. Don't tell the convention center. And now, okay, I have some ideas. Okay, wait. I'm gonna give GM Gin. We're gonna figure out something together collectively on the GN Gin. But GM Gin, I'm giving to the Cybercode twins right here, because if you guys don't follow the Cybercode twins, I showed my daughter some of your guys' videos a long time ago, and she fell in love with it. And you guys are an amazing inspiration to all girls who code. Now I want to figure out this last one. Who of you traveled the farthest to be here? Oh, it might be. Where are you from? Toronto? We got France over there. Puerto Rico. You already got a bottle. I don't know. Are we going, Chris Dogami?
France is the furthest.
He's sharing tonight. I also got a pocket full of drink tickets. What was that? You
come on,
Algeria, but you live in Sacramento. So I mean,
just because you visited, doesn't count.
I've been far away before too. That doesn't count. All right, Chris, the GN Gin coming from. By the way, how many of you own a dogami dog? You got a timed. But by the way, come up for 1 second and tell everyone about Dogami who doesn't know. Speaking of kids, my kids are obsessed with our dogs that we have. And, you know, I still haven't done a full reveal on all of my last drops, but Dogami did a recent drop with The Gap, and you could get accessories for your dogs, and they're building a whole thing. But tell everyone about it before we sign off and everyone gives some plugs.
Okay, cool. I'll keep it short because I guess everybody wants to go for a drink. Basically, what we're doing with Dogami is we're trying to create the first Web3 mobile game that's destined for a mass market audience. So we're trying to remove all the complexity that you would have usually in onboarding Web3 games. But essentially, for anybody that's from my generation, you probably grew up with Tamagotchis. We're doing kind of the same thing. You adopt a baby Dogami, you raise him to an adult self, then you can breed him, but you can also access a lot of different experiences, both in virtual and in augmented reality. So we're having fun with dogs, and we're interoperable. The first platform on which you'll be able to take your Dogamis is the Sandbox. So yeah, good times. And thank you for the gin. I'll be sharing it over there if anybody wants some. It's some good night gin.
Is this one on? Oh, it is on. But yes, yeah, okay, so Chris is going to share his gin so he doesn't have to take it to France with him or put it in his suitcase.
I only have carry-on, otherwise I'd be packing this thing.
Okay, now you don't have a choice. But check out Dogami because they're a excellent example of a clean user experience for a lot of people who maybe don't already know how to use crypto, and it's an easy way to get in, and it's a shitload of fun. So, but
Thank you.
Let's and we love them, and there's a fun Doga token out there also for you to take pictures with. By the way, I'm gonna pass these out in 1 second, but let's go through, give everyone a plug, and tell them where to find you guys on the expo floor here, and then let's go hang out and socialize for the last hour of the networking party.
Yeah, once again, I'm from BAB. We're next to the Gin Boys over here, so the popular booth, because I think people come thinking they can get samples or something. So I'm going
The convention center did not allow that, unfortunately. We tried hard.
So yeah, we're just trying to create a all-inclusive financial services platform, bring everybody on across the world as it should be.
You guys are on a panel tomorrow or on day 3?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. So check them out. Spirit Punk.
Like I said, yeah, we're Spirit Punks. We are bridging and curating toolkits to help onboard and capture the value proposition of consumer packaged goods. We're using our established distillery vertical to showcase those propositions. Spirit Punks itself will look like a token-gated, price-tiered marketplace with some exclusive products just for our community, partnership price tiering, but basically just kind of building the full suite or curating. A lot of it will be curation in the next 18 months. The tools that are necessary for both Web 2 and Web 3 companies to capture the value. We see, I know we're in the plug sesh, but we see blockchain as like the foundational backbone that basically all CRMs, all advertising will eventually be built on. You know, there's so much value if you can eliminate the third-party middleman who you're paying the VIG to, essentially. And so doing so just means more value for brands, for individuals, for consumers. You know, directionality of consumption should be a real thing that's tangible, that you can feel when you're purchasing something, and your word or your direction of your dollars should be something that you can also track, you know, immutably. So we're devoted to building the pieces and curating the pieces that provide that value at the end of the day. We also make some world-class, awesome alcohol, you know.
Free samples at their booth. Yeah.
Okay, so David and his partner are scientists who developed a way to create light from sound. John, I would say David because I was about to go to David. What's your name again? Sailor Gary is... Sailor Gary, I had one drink.
The alcohol, cheers.
Sailor Gary right here is a literal scientist who has created light from sound.
My old mentor just pioneered a phenomenon in physical acoustics called single bubble sonoluminescence, which is using high intensity sound differentials to basically create cavities in liquid mediums that don't want to be there. Under certain circumstances, they collapse very intensely. We ended up getting into the distillery world by working under a handful of Department of Defense contracts in ethanol remediation. There's the background breakdown. What we do with ethanol is very gentle compared to what we were doing in some of the more.
A little bit of complexity there.
Exactly. That's all I'm thinking the whole time. Like, but the crypto space
But
is
it's
like
good
that,
to
right?
drink.
So the crypto space is like you meet the smartest people in the world, and they're like, we're like, cartoon dogs and metaverse land, bro. And let's drink some Bud Lights. Cheers. David, you got any plugs? You gonna tell us to buy some voxels land or something?
Yeah, no, there's all sorts of metaverses. It's hard to say. We saw Sandbox was in here earlier, I guess, talking over there.
That was awesome.
Sandbox is
Yeah,
pretty cool.
I'm a big fan.
I have land in Sandbox as well.
I have one of those Snoop NFTs there. I get to be Snoop in Sandbox, which is cool because I can't wait to cruise around the Sandbox with my dogs and Snoop.
That's what's up.
Oh,
That
are
is
you,
what's
are
up,
you
right?
going to do a Sandbox?
Oh, they
version
have
of
a
the dog?
Sandbox.
Yeah, we have a partnership with a Sandbox with which your Dogami is basically going to follow your avatar.
Nice.
So you got to go up a ladder, hold the sword in its mouth, and things like that. Where you have to do your stuff. It's going to be fun.
I
I
have
think
my,
cross-chain games and like with bringing your assets from one game into another.
Oh,
is gonna be
huge.
huge. It'd be
Well, no,
cool.
it's huge because we're going to take, my daughter's going to take her World of Women, go into the Sandbox, bring her dog with her, and it's going to be a whole thing. And it's gonna be so much fun.
I know some people are probably confused as hell as to what we're talking about.
You have to be a research scientist to understand.
Right? Yeah, it is
All right,
highly
guys.
technical.
I love you all.
I'll be back on Blockchain and Booze, like just hanging out
Tomorrow night?
after our parties too.
Yeah.
all
Oh,
the time.
after, of course, when we do the online system, David is the king of the after
Yeah,
hours.
we hang out we've been up till 2 o'clock in the morning sometimes, hanging out after parties
Yeah.
and just socializing with other people in crypto. It's
Last
wonderful.
time I was on, I'm on Swiss time, and it ended at like, I don't know, it was at 8 a.m. or something for me. I was
Nice.
dying.
That was crazy. Well, wait. We should have one quick debate before we go. I read Dogami when I was reading it as an American, right? Dogami, but all the French and European people say Dogami.
Dogami. Yeah.
Dogami.
It's
What,
like
what's
dog
the,
and origami. Origami, you have a million different
okay.
folding
So Dogami,
possibilities.
is that the way we should be saying it? Dogami?
Dogami.
Okay, Dogami. So we gotta do it. We gotta sound.
One small thing also real quick for anybody that's here on Thursday. We're doing a cool panel. There's plenty of amazing panels here, but we're doing one with Gary Levinson, which is the producer of Saving Private Ryan, 12
Yeah.
Monkeys. We have Billy Hines as well that produced Oblivion. It's going to be a cool panel where we're going to see how Web3 will allow us to build into interactive storytelling. So having old media, or let's say traditional media, and new media combined will be a cool one. So I hope to see you there.
All right, thanks, guys. This is fun. We're gonna do this
Been
again
fun.
tomorrow. You know, we need to. Maybe we should have some of you guys, the community members, up tomorrow, and then we'll. You guys want to do it tomorrow? You down? Yeah, we're gonna do it again. You're looking at me like, nah, I don't know, whatever. I'll just hang out here by myself tomorrow and make an ass of myself like every week. All right, guys, thank you so much. I'm so stoked to hang out in real life. I've got a handful of drink tickets. Let's have some drinks together in real life tonight. Love you guys.
Thank
Let's
you.
do it.
Cheers.